So this is the problem set for lesson 3.3 in elementary algebra, graphing linear equations in two variables. And let's just look at 1 through 16. They're giving you an equation. So if you look at 16, y equals negative 2/3 x minus 1. And they give you a negative 3 and they give you a blank. So what they're trying to do is have you find that number right there that goes in the y place. So you're going to take negative 3 and put it in for x, position that is right there, and solve it. And once you find out what that is, that number is what y is, and you'll put it right there in that space. And for the second part of that, they give you, instead of a negative 3 and a blank, they give you what is it there? A 0, or a 0, and they're asking you to find the y value. So you're going to put a 0 in. And then the next one, you're going to put a 3 in for x, and it'll spit out a y. Alright, so 17 to 22, exactly the same thing. You get down to number 23, and they want you to find 3 solutions. So that means that what they're asking you to do is, given something like y equals negative 2x, what they're doing is saying, put an x and a y here, put 3 numbers in here, negative 2, 0, and positive 2. Plug that negative 2 in here for x, plug the 0 in, and then plug the 2 in and see what you get. And put those numbers right there, just like we did on one of the other lessons, or in the exercises. And then graph it. You should have 3 points. Numbers 35 to 40, you're doing the exact same thing and then graphing it. They just didn't tell you to make the table or find the solutions, but that's what you're going to be doing. So something like 40, you've got y equals negative 3/4 x plus 3 over 2. You're going to make your graph. And again, you're going to put numbers that are a multiple of 4 in there to make your life easier. So let's make it 4, 0, and negative 4. So I get y equals negative 3/4 times 4 plus 3/2. This is going to give me negative 12 over 4 plus 3/2. That is going to be negative 3 plus 3/2. Okay, so in these you're going to get some fractions regardless, because you're going to have to change the negative 3 to a fraction with a common denominator of 2. So you're going to have negative 6 over 2 plus 3/2 is going to give you negative 3/2. Negative 3/2 is like negative 1.5. Then you're going to put 0 in there, and you end up getting 3/2. And then you put negative 4 in there, and you'll get a value here for your y. Given this information, then you're going to graph it using your xy axis. Now, that's exactly what we did in some of the examples earlier. In numbers 41 to 44, remember what I told you when you had an x equals a number? Like x equals 3. All they're asking you is that line that you're going to draw when x is 3, so there's 3, is that line going to be vertical, horizontal, or is it going to go through the origin? Well, it's going to be vertical. Remember, we said that anytime we're given x and a number, it's a vertical line, y and a value, it's a horizontal. The other one that we're going to give is, I didn't go over this in the lesson, but if you have something like y equals 3x, whenever you've got a y and a number and an x, and that's all, and that number is multiplied by the x, it's not y equals x plus 3, it's always multiplied, and there's nothing else, then it's always going to be through the origin, either that way or that way, depending on whether this 3 is a positive or a negative number. If it's a negative number, it's going to look like the blue line. If it's a positive number, it's going to look like the red line. But it's always going to go through the origin. So that's what they're asking you to do. 45 through the rest of them, following instructions. Just being able to do what they're asking you to do there. And that's it for problem set 3.3.